Thank you for joining us. We are on location in British Columbia in Vancouver, one of the leading, most desired cities in the world, a spectacular city, in fact, of culture, travel, tourism, ocean liners coming and going to Alaska and elsewhere, commerce, culture, education, an incredible city. And we are privileged to be here today at the Rosewood, Georgia Hotel in Vancouver for some interviews and an overview of the city following these messages.
Standing at the highest peak of Vancouver is an awesome structure that provides a green source of energy. To discover how the power of wind is harnessed, I traveled to Grouse Mountain in North Vancouver. After a scenic ride up the face of the mountain, I take a chairlift to the summit to experience the eye of the wind turbine. To reach the world's first glass viewing pod on a wind turbine, I board the elevator, which will whisk me up this 20-story structure. I'm now exactly 4,176.5 feet above the city of Vancouver, and the 360-degree view from up here is simply breathtaking. As you walk around the glass enclosure, you can soak in the view of both the city and the West Coast wilderness. You'll also be amazed by the innovative technology used in this engineering feat. From where I'm standing, I'm about half a meter away from these massive rotating blades, and each of them weighs over 12,000 pounds. I'm so close, I feel like I could reach out and touch them. This wind turbine can generate up to 1.5 megawatts of power. That's enough energy to power 400 homes a year. Currently, the eye of the wind turbine has a potential to provide up to 25% of Grouse Mountain's annual electricity needs. Being in the eye of the wind is an energizing experience. It is inspiring to see the potential of human ingenuity and how it can harness the forces of nature to create a clean and sustainable source of energy for our future. Vancouver's North Shore, the place where nature lives.
With us now is Emanuel Fappas. Emanuel, it's a real pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
Now, you're a veteran of travel and tourism to this city.
Indeed, yes, sir.
You are an experienced man in the trenches of tourism to this wonderful, unique city
Well, I try
of
to be,
Vancouver.
yes, thank you. I try.
From your perspective, the years you've been doing this, what is unique about Vancouver from your perspective?
It's an excellent blend of historical and modern, and the clouds and the mountains and the sea and the sky are just gorgeous. You cannot get that anywhere else in the world. The natural beauty of Vancouver is what does it for me each and every time, and the beautiful architecture of the modern and the historical, and of course the mountains and the sea and the gorgeous views that you get of the Pacific Ocean, Burrard Inlet and English Bay.
Emanuel, I can't agree with you more. We are here on top of this Rosewood Hotel, Georgia, this beautiful hotel in the heart of the city, and the view here is just incredible. Tell us what's unique about hospitality in the city of Vancouver.
This hotel was built in 1927 and it has been recently renovated, and it is easily one of the top premier hotels in Vancouver. Known for its historic values and its modern, updated flair at the same time.
Emanuel, you've been showing people around town, traveling around on the bus, tour buses, day after day, dozens and dozens of people all the time, and you have years of experience. Tell us about the visitors who come here to Vancouver.
They come from everywhere. We've had people from anywhere that you can think of that have taken the tours. They love English Bay. They love Stanley Park. I mean, that's the jewel of Vancouver. How can you not love Stanley Park? Over 1,000 acres of natural forest make up Stanley Park. And of course, we have the hop-on, hop-off service of all the buses that we do. And that is very popular with a lot of tourists.
When I joined you on your bus, you were telling us about Queen Elizabeth's visit. Tell us a little bit more about some of the highlights of your tours here in Vancouver.
Well, some of the highlights are, of course, some of the beautifully architecturally designed buildings. Of course, world-renowned architect Arthur Erickson lived in Vancouver, and he has designed some of the beautiful landmarks that you see in Vancouver. Of course, Robson Square, Robson Plaza is one of his beautifully designed buildings that he has done. Another impressive location is Christ Church Cathedral. That's Vancouver's first and oldest cathedral. It was built when Vancouver was nothing but a log town. Now it is an Anglican church, and when the Queen does visit our city, she does attend Mass at the Christ Church Cathedral. What's beautiful about it, they have solid Douglas fir beams that hold up the roof, and it is gorgeous inside. It is worth taking a look inside.
Emanuel, why is Vancouver regarded as one of the premier cities in the world?
Well, its mild climate in the wintertime brings a lot of people here, and of course the beautiful summers that we have in Vancouver are just gorgeous. We have top world attractions, we have Whistler that's not too far away, and of course Vancouver Island is gorgeous as well. So it does bring it in for its natural beauty, and you can't complain on a day like today how beautiful Vancouver really is.
We noticed not only is this an extremely clean city with beautiful shops and flowers everywhere. In fact, you know what? Tell us more about retail, shopping and so forth in Vancouver.
Shopping in the city is actually quite unique. We have Robson Street, which just has a plethora of shops. You can start from the bottom of the hill, start with some unique Asian food, Korean food, and work your way all the way up the hill to get right into the heart of the shopping district of Vancouver. Further up, of course, you can see the beautiful architecturally designed library, and further down than that, you can get down to BC Place Stadium, where they do have the BC Sports Hall of Fame. An excellent place to check out is just all up and down Robson Street. Walk around, grab a cup of coffee, grab your loved one or whatever you want, and just walk up and down the streets and just see some of the shops, do a little people watching, grab a gelato. Of course, that's a fancy name for ice cream here in Vancouver, and a coffee. Hey, we have so many Starbucks here in Vancouver, so I'm sure you won't find a shortage of Starbucks as well.
Earlier today, I was riding a bicycle with my wife and son around the incredible marina area, and the parks are just astonishing. Yesterday, we were up on Grouse Mountain and touched snow. In fact, I made a little snowman for my son. This is incredible. In the middle of the summer here, we were actually touching snow. Tell us more about the nature and these attributes of Vancouver.
Oh, Grouse Mountain is a premier attraction in Vancouver. Yes, it doesn't always have snow all the way year-round, but we did have a heavy snowfall this year, so it does have a lot of snow still remaining on the top. You take the Grouse Sky Tram that takes you all the way up to the top, and you can view lumberjack shows all the way atop there, and they have cultural shows. And of course, you ride down again and take the free shuttle that takes you back to Canada Place. Now, you did mention that you were in Stanley Park, and we do have over 10 kilometers of beautiful natural seawall that goes all the way around Stanley Park. You can check out the Siwash Rock, which is on the other side of of Stanley Park. There's over 10 kilometers worth of trails, and you were at, of course, the Vancouver Aquarium, which is a top aquarium in the world.
I must honestly say, I can hardly remember ever seeing a city I've been as impressed with as much as Vancouver. Tomorrow, actually, we are going on Holland America on an Alaska cruise, and this, I understand, is a popular port city also. Tell us a little bit about the cruise industry from Vancouver.
Oh yes, the cruise ships. Now, of course, Holland America does stop here every summer, and they do the great tours out to Alaska and, of course, everywhere else. They do bring in a lot of visitors into the city, and they are very popular, and they are very welcomed by the city as well. It brings in a lot of people, and they all take the big bus, pink bus tours, and of course, they just enjoy the city. And what better place to stop than Vancouver before you're going all the way up to Alaska?
Emanuel, before we conclude this interview, tell us a little bit more about Vancouver from a family and educational point of view.
Vancouver does have a great scene for children as well. Of course, they have the wonderful playground in Stanley Park with a second beach swimming pool that has saltwater swimming pool as well. Kitts Beach is excellent as well. Now, of course, you can't forget about Granville Island. They do have the kids market there. Wonderful indoor public market. You'll find everything there, from artisan shops to fresh fish to fresh vegetables and fruits. Of course, pastry shops and bakeries. The list goes on and on. It's definitely going to be the highlight of your trip if you visit Granville Island and, of course, Stanley Park.
To touch again upon the beginning of our conversation, I must say that here in this hotel, the Rosewood, Georgia, I'm impressed not only with the fabulous quality, but also I understand they have actually apartments. People can live here permanently, and it's certainly very enticing. Tell us about that.
People do choose to move to Vancouver because of the education system that we do have in here. Of course, UBC is the top facility in the world. It is a world-renowned university as well. Now, back to the hotel, of course, the Rosewood Hotel Georgia does accommodate residents as well, and of course, visitors alike. They do have their beautiful new tower that they just constructed, and it will accommodate residents, permanent residents, and it will accommodate, of course, visitors as well. World-class hotel. Excellent place. Definitely one of my favorite places in the city is the Rosewood Hotel Georgia.
Thank you so very much for being with us today.
You're very welcome. And anytime you come visit Vancouver, please feel free to hop on the big bus and the pink bus.
Certainly shall.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome.
I'll be right back.
The earliest Jewish people here came in the early 1900s.
In those days, there was not a lot of wealth. And if you didn't help each other, there was nowhere to turn. And they started to build a community.
So in 1934, a group of people got together, 6 people, and by 1936, they formed a society. In the 30s and the 40s, it was about people who were hungry, the lack of jobs. When the war was over, it was about helping refugees. In the 60s, Jewish Family Services realized that it wasn't all about welfare. So youth workers were hired. Then there were job-finding programs. As the needs grew, the community became more involved.
75th, they're like me.
At different times in anybody's life, people find themselves needing help.
But what JFSA does is they find the people who are vulnerable, who need your help, and may need counseling, or may need resettlement, or may need employment assistance, or something to get a leg up.
Everybody who finds himself needing to come here has something difficult that's going on in their lives, but we try and make sure that their experiences are a little less difficult than they are. The main help that we provide is our food programs.
So just to get ready for our clients today, we have some organic jams. We have regular clients every 2 weeks. We don't know them by name, but we do give them a smile and a good day or a good yontif, depending.
A little weak on the onions today, but we usually give more or less depending on what we are supplied with. Today we got salad and coleslaw, which we don't usually have.
The success story is when we stop seeing the client. They've gotten on their feet, they get a job, and they don't have to come to the food bank anymore.
I came in Vancouver in 1996, and back I have friends from JFSA.
We run a lunch program. For a lot of seniors, this is the only thing on their calendar.
When I came here, they were like my sisters and brothers. Now I'm not in good condition because I fell down a couple times and broken one shoulder and second shoulder. So, like usual, I came to JFSA, I asked them for help. So JFSA sent to me Oksana. She understands me very well, and she speaks Russian. And now she is not like worker. Now she like my daughter or like my friend. She is the best for me. Yeah, when we are young.
It's very difficult for someone to leave their identity behind and come in here and have to reestablish themselves.
I came to Canada in 1994. When I came here, I didn't have anybody like relatives or friends. I came to JFSA. I had a meeting with the counselor, and at the end of our conversation, she gave me a big basket with fruits and crackers and cheese. And I couldn't understand why. I said, no, I am a Jewish. She said, yeah, but even because you are Jewish, that's why I would like to give it to you. I went home and I just cried all my way with this basket, and I couldn't understand why. That the first time in my life, because I'm a Jew, something good for me.
When I came to Canada, I thought to myself, well, within a month I'm going to be employed again. And then I realized it's not that easy.
I wanted to ask everybody how they got their last job. It's very isolating and depressing to be out of work, and it affects people's confidence and really their whole lives.
My first 6 months in Canada were really frustrating. I couldn't find a job. I couldn't get a job.
We say how it looks in a diagram would be no, 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 yes. We help to create those opportunities, those job leads. We help them find work.
I got to the employment services of the JFSA, and here they found for me my first employment in Canada. Now I've been doing the seminar for newcomers about the taxes, the tax system in Canada in Hebrew. I do that as volunteer and for giving back to the JFSA for what they gave me.
And it is part of a big cycle. And at times, when we're doing well, we help others, and sometimes we need help.
You shouldn't feel shameful about asking for help, because in the past, you helped other people, and so now it's your turn.
My life got very, very, very bad. I was confused. I was terribly depressed. Medication wasn't working for me. And one evening, I decided I couldn't go any further, and I tried to commit suicide.
We're in the business of providing hope for clients who are feeling very despondent or very despairing or very resigned that things are never going to be any different.
It was recommended to me to go to Jewish Family Services. They had counselors who could work with me, and with the help of little cards, I'm lovable just as I am, I became better and better.
Part of what is very special and important, and actually quite essential about the services we provide here, is that we constantly look to see where there might be some gaps that we can fill in the community.
Recently, the special needs department has really helped our family.
This mother was certain that her child had autism or some variation of it.
But when coming to professionals, they just, because she was older, they just pushed it aside. It was like running up against a brick wall. I didn't know where to go anymore.
I was able to connect her to the right professionals, and she did get the diagnosis that confirmed and affirmed everything she thought.
When I ran out of steam, I came, and I wished I would have come a lot earlier, because this department was like the missing link for me. And I can't express enough gratitude for that.
What's really important is that we are trying to meet people's very basic needs. And in order to do that, we need support from the community.
It's very challenging when we have run out of funds. People call us up and they say they're hungry and they've got no food for their kids. And we've said we don't have any money to help them. So that's very challenging. It's very painful to have to do that.
You know, when you have nothing, a little bit is a lot. When you have a lot, a little bit is nothing.
For me, name of this organization, the Jewish Family Service Agency, for me it's not a name. When you ask me about meaningful, for me it's a family.
Thank you very much for your help.
This concludes our special show for today from On Location in Vancouver, Canada. I'm Richard Peritz. Thank you for being with us.